So guys, welcome to RBS Intellect Study to Residency Pathway webinar. We will be doing this series every time to make sure that we are there. Now, do remember everyone, this is a webinar, so we will be not allowing you to speak. So please don't raise your hands. So just giving the brief details, we have a team of 5 licensed advisors on board with RBS. Currently, you have Sunlim with us. We'll be joined in by Shiraaz, who is our lead visa expert for student visas. I will be talking through that. Sun, do you want to give a brief background about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sun Lim. I'm based in Auckland. I'm a licensed immigration advisor. I've been in this industry for more than 10 years. So today I'm going to answer all of your questions, particularly about study to residence and residence. How do you apply for SMC and all that? Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Sun. So, giving a brief, by the time I believe Shiraz knows, I'll be introducing her too. I'll do a brief introduction here about New Zealand. What is New Zealand, where we are, and how to do. I believe a lot of people will know where is New Zealand. New Zealand is one of the excellent education system. We are a Commonwealth education system, which means that we have a similar pattern what is with US, Australia, UK, Canada. All the universities are in top 500 as per the QS 2025 rankings. Now, all the universities plus institutions, which is polytechnic and government and PTEs or private colleges, they have around 5,500 different qualifications to offer with. So it's a diverse range of study option. Now, if you have queries for, say, robotics, engineering, civil, mechanical, there are many options. So just giving you heads up, things are there which can be done. Now, in terms of New Zealand, we are a safe and peaceful country. It's a country of 6 million people. We are based into southern eastern side of Australia. It's an island-based country, so we don't have any borders linked to any country, which means that we are more safer, cleaner, and the size of the land of New Zealand is equivalent to the size of UK. So UK's population is around 60 million. So you can see the comparison. There is a lot of space in the same time. Now, New Zealand allow 20 hours per week while you study. And when you are on a term break or a Christmas holidays, you can work full time. Now, New Zealand is also famous for the quality of life. We are called Switzerland of East. We are in terms of it's a very green environment, and it's always in the world top 10 list of countries to live. New Zealand have 8 universities. These are all government universities. Are in different locations in New Zealand, but at the same time, you can always go into other institutions, which I'll be showing in. So all the universities are in either top 100 or top 200 to 300 or in top 400 to 500. Now, New Zealand in total have 27 different institutions, which are government funded or government owned, we call as. These are universities and polytechnics. And if you see on the shared screen here, there are various institutions across New Zealand which you can go. So just remember that you are getting to New Zealand, you are going into study to some institution, and all the institutions are recognized equally for their post-study options or work options. New Zealand also hosts number of private institutions. Now we will be talking about a couple of major private institutions courses which offer master's and bachelor program. Now, one thing which is different from New Zealand compared to university or polytechnics, or PTs, New Zealand recognize each and every qualification at same level. So if you're going to private polytechnic or university, they are recognized with the same post-study outcome or a residence pathway, just to give you a heads up on that. I'll be completing some slides before Son jumps in, just to making sure I'm doing the basics handling. So all the qualification when you come to study in New Zealand, you require either English language. If you have not studied from any overseas country which is been waived, that is UK, US, Canada, Ireland, and I believe south of or in Australia, there are 6 destinations. But if you have not studied there, and if even your studies in English medium, your English waiver will be not there. So you have to either give IELTS, Pearson, NCL, TOEFL, TOEIC, OET. So there are multiple different options you can go in. Now, every course have a different requirement. So we will talk about your courses and qualification when you put in the queries, or we can do individual counselings after today's webinar. Now, Son, you want to talk about it before we will doing a tagging here if you're okay?
Okay, yeah, I can take over. I think the most attractive part of studying in New Zealand is that you are eligible for a post-study work visa. So look for those options that allow you to actually gain post-study work visa after your studies. Okay, we'll go into more details. What are the options? And then for those who have family, if you're coming here to study, say, master degree, you're allowed to bring your family. Okay, your spouse and your children, they're allowed to join you. So, and more importantly, your spouse is able to work. So they'll be on an open work visa, and your children will enjoy domestic students in primary and secondary school. All right. And of course, New Zealand currently has the clearest pathway to residence. All right. So as you know, as Bharat has mentioned before, New Zealand has great lifestyle. We have a lot of open space, and it's one of the safest country. And there are no snakes and no predator animals, no tigers. Everywhere you roam is safe. The only probably most dangerous animals are the kakapo. It's a kind of bird, but they are also considered very, very gentle. Okay, now just a brief introduction about New Zealand education system. If you look at we rank our qualification framework according to level 1 to level 10. Okay, level 1, 2, 3 are pretty much pre-certificate or pre-diploma. So level 4, level 5, level 6 are diploma, and level 7 you have a bachelor degree, graduate diplomas, and level 8 will be postgraduate diploma or bachelor honors. And then level 9 is master degree, level 10 is doctorate degree. All right, next. Okay, most of you will be very, very interested into what happened after your study. What happened? Can you stay back? Can you work? Okay, this is very important to know that in New Zealand, if you are eligible, if you're meeting the requirement, there's no age limit for you to get post-study work visa. Unlike Australia, in Australia, if you are more than 35 years old, you're not eligible for post-study work visa. So for New Zealand, there's no restriction. Even 65 years old, you're eligible for post-study work visa. So what are the eligibility? For PhD level, I go down from the highest level first. PhD, if you complete your PhD normally between 3 to 5 years, once you finish, you are eligible for 3 years post-study work visa. Similarly, master degree, level 9, you get 3 years post-study work visa, and then postgraduate diploma, 1 year, and bachelor degree depends on how many years you study your bachelor degree. Some of our bachelor degrees are 2 years or 3 years. The good thing about all this is that this what we call post-study work visa is an open work visa. What do we mean by open work visa? Open work visa means that when you are allowed to work, whether you want to work or not, work part-time, work full-time, work 40 hours, work 60 hours, work with one employer, two employers, it's up to you. And any job, so long as it's legal, any job, it doesn't have to be related to your study as well. So this is good because sometimes you may not get the jobs that you want immediately that consider skill, but you can work in other areas just to make some money. This is what we call open work visa. So from bachelor degree level 7 all the way to PhD level 10, the post-study work visa that you're entitled to is open work visa. We also have, if you are doing level 7, but they are not degree, they're non-degree, they're lower than level 7 or level 7, so for example, level 6 construction. And all these qualification has to be listed in the green list. If you are doing those green list qualification, you will be eligible for post-study work visa as well. The only difference is that this post-study work visa is not open post-study work visa. It is some kind of restricted, meaning that you can only work in an area that related to your study. For example, if you study construction, so you can only work in construction, you cannot work in retail, you cannot work in IT, or you cannot work in other areas. Okay, so it's slightly restricted compared to the other qualifications. So just be careful what we mean by post-study work visa. There are two types. One is open, one is restricted. Okay, next. So we have various options of courses that offer bachelor degree, master degree, PhD. These are the most common courses.
So I'll take it over on there. So just the reason I added this slide is basically when we are talking about residence pathways, we are talking about all the qualifications are eligible, depend if you are getting a job or in areas. In terms of, we talk about various qualifications have various ways to get a residence pathway. So when we talk about green list or other qualification, it's every student or candidate looks like that they become a limited to that, oh, we don't have option for this, we don't have option for this. There are, like I said, there are 5,000 plus qualifications offered in New Zealand. Don't limit yourself to the qualification which are easy to residence pathway, or they are in the long-term skill shortage or green list currently. So we always suggest students to see what is right for them and follow them. So again, I'll do some basics again, and Son will come into the residence pathway. So what we do at RBS and what we recommend every student to follow when they do with their again partner, they do by themselves. Please get your profile evaluation. Don't just apply for any course. Oh yes, this course is in demand, and I go for this course. No, your lot of visas depend upon which courses you're going. Are you following your background? Are you changing your stream? Why you're changing the stream? So things come in the picture. So we have a team which will be always there to support it. Now, just to give you a heads up, RBS don't charge for any student visa application till the time you have not been rejected or there are other issues. But if you're applying for the first time student visa with New Zealand, we don't charge any fees at RBS across our various offices, except some of the admin charges if they are there. Select in course, again, we will be giving you various options, depend upon your background, depend upon your CV, your experience. Again, it will be different option, depend upon location, depend upon pricing, depend upon which level you are, depend upon which city you want to go, or depend upon which institution you want to go in. Our team will be applying at least a couple of offer letters for you, so that you can see which options are easier for you, which can be easier for you to get a bank loan, or to see what other financial requirement you can meet in. Now, at the same time, then we will be helping you with our team to lodge the student visa application. Now, remember, student visa application we can lodge as an offshore agency, which are not required to be a licensed immigration advisor. It's actually not required for a student visa to be done by immigration advisor. But again, if you wanted, we can do through the immigration advisors also. After we apply, there are multiple routes to apply. You can pay the fees in advance, or we normally recommend students to follow the AIP route, which is approval in principle, which means that you don't need to pay your tuition fees till the time you don't get your approval in principle, which means that it is the safest route where the money can be paid later after you get an AIP letter. The only difference is that AIP or e-visa route is that when you go with the AIP route, you need another 10 to 15 days before you get your e-visa approved from Immigration New Zealand. Now, there are again multiple areas, multiple countries follow different routes. So we will be guiding you when you are applying your visa through RBS or the team members. Over to you, Son.
Okay, for those who wants to bring your partners and your families to New Zealand while you study, say for example, if you are doing a level 9, if you are doing level 9 or above study, you're eligible to bring your partners, and your partners will be eligible for an open work visa. While you study, though you can still work part-time, but your partner can work full-time. Okay. And if you are doing a qualification that's specified on the green list, your partner can come and be eligible for open work visa as well. Okay. But if you are doing any other qualifications, Your partner can join you, but they cannot work. They can come in as visitor visa, on visitor visa. Then about your dependents. Can your dependents join you? Yes. If you are doing level 9 and your partners is actually holding a work visa as a partner of a student, then the children can join you as a domestic students, and they are allowed to study in New Zealand free of charge from age of 5 to age of 19, basically from year 1 to year 13. All right. So but just be careful is that the children who are applying for domestic student visa, they must be the dependent of the must be the biological children of the partner. Okay, because sometimes you have two different family. For those that who below 5, they can join as well, but they come here as a visitor visa. Okay, next. So I just briefly go through an overview of a residence visa. How many pathway that do we have? At the moment, there are 3 pathway. That is skilled migrant resident pathway and the green list pathway. Okay, as well as the care workforce sector. I'm not going to talk about care workforce because this is now is the government may cancel this particular pathway. So we just talk about skilled migrant resident pathway and green list pathway. Next. So before I talk to you about all these pathway that you are eligible, I just want to explain that what is the difference, why New Zealand is so different from the other country. Okay, New Zealand, when you first get your residence, we call resident visa. We don't call it permanent residence. But our New Zealand resident visa is equivalent to Australia PR. Okay, I will explain to you why. Because New Zealand resident visa allow you to stay here indefinitely, just like the Australian PR. The only difference is that there is a travel conditions which is valid between 2 to 4 years. Similarly, Australia, your PR is valid 5 years, and there's a travel condition. After 5 years, you need to renew. Whereas in New Zealand, after 2 years, you need to renew. And the good thing about New Zealand is that when you renew a permanent resident visa. What is the difference between New Zealand permanent resident visa and Australia permanent resident visa? New Zealand permanent resident visa has no expiry date, meaning that you do not have to worry about your next 5 years. Once you have permanent resident visa, you can leave New Zealand for 5 years, 10 years. You can still come back here as a resident. If you are holding Australian visa, after 5 years, and if the next 5 years you are not living there for more than 2 years in the 5 year period, you won't be eligible to renew your PR in Australia. Basically, your PR is gone. After all this hard work, your PR is gone. Whereas New Zealand, when you get your PR is for life. It will stay with you forever until you die. Okay, that is the difference. And you only need to meet the requirements if you are going through a skilled migrant category. The first time if we issue you a resident visa is for 2 years. Within that 2 years, you meet the residence requirement, then you convert to PR, and the PR is for life. Okay, next. Okay, now green list. Green list is very straightforward. We have tier 1 and tier 2. Green list, all the occupation are specified. The moment that you meet the requirements in the green list, there's no points. We don't talk about how many points you earned. No, we talk about what are the qualifications, what are the work experience, what are the pay that you need to meet. So long as you meet the tier 1, immediately you can apply to residence. You don't have to wait until 1 year, 2 years, right? You just apply. For example, teachers, the moment you get a job, you're a licensed teachers, the secondary school teacher, you get an offer, you get a pay, you are eligible to apply straight to residence. Okay. Tier 2 is you need to work for 2 years. Under green list tier 2, there are certain occupations. For example, if I'm not wrong, ECE teacher. ECE teacher, you need to work 2 years as an ECE teacher, then you can apply for residence. Again, they don't look at the points, whether you have 0 point or whatever, that they don't care. It's not about points, it's about meeting the exact requirements stated in the green list. Now, most of you probably will be more interested into the skill migrant category, which is 6 points. And you have to note that the 6 points will have to look at how you gather all the 6 points based on qualification, based on number of years of work experience, skill employment in New Zealand. Okay, for example, if you have PhD, you get 6 points straight away, but you still need to have a skill employment. If you don't have a skill employment, you're not eligible despite having 6 points. Okay, so what are the general requirements? You must be 55 years old or younger. Okay, below 55 or lower. And this only apply to the principal applicant. If your spouse is more than 55 years old, that is fine. And you must have a skill job. Okay. And your English, you need to meet your English requirement 6.5. Of course, the rest are clean health character as usual. Okay. Next. Okay, this is a snapshot of how you accumulate, how you accrue the 6 points. If you have PhD, or if you're a barrister, or you are able to register as a chartered accountant in New Zealand, you get 6 points. Okay, so you don't need to work, but you need to have a job offer. Okay, you still have to have a job offer, a valid job offer that being paid the medium wage. Okay, and the employer has to be accredited. So you get 6 points. If you are doing master degree, this is the most popular pathway. Most people come here to do master degree. If you do master degree, you're eligible for 5 points straight away after you finish your master. And then you'll be given 3 years post-study work visa. Remember, 3 years. Now, within that 3 years, you only need to work 1 year in a skill employment. Skill employment means that your job is being paid medium wage. Your job is relevant or related to your qualification or work experience. It doesn't have to be directly related to your qualification, but it needs to be related to your past work experience. Okay, so once you have completed 1 year skill employment in New Zealand, you get 1 point, then you have 6 points, and then you can apply for residence. So for bachelor, you need to have 3 points. You get 3 points, and then you need to have another 3 points. This is about SMC. So green list, you don't need to accrue any points. So long as it meet the requirement in the green list, then you're eligible to apply for residence, straight to residence, or work to residence. Okay. Next. Okay, I think that's the end of my presentation. And
Yeah,
somebody.
so no, that's fine. So what we'll do is that again, this is just a brief about the visa checklist, what are there. So again, from the team about RBS, we will be providing you all the details, what are required, what is to be done, what are the kinds of required from sponsors and all. So what we want is that we want to focus on your question and answers. So I can see there are a lot of questions already there. So everyone, please, you are welcome to put question and answers on a Q&A box so that we can start answering it. So let's go with Shofin Begum. I'm a physiotherapist, academic staff in university. Is it possible to do a PhD in the area or a master's, which is cheaper? So again, Shofin, just to give you a heads up for everyone, PhD in New Zealand is offered at a domestic student fees, which is roughly between $8,000 to $11,000 per year. Now, getting a PhD offer letter takes 6 to 9 months, and it is to be done from student or PhD candidate itself because you need to talk to supervisor. Now, if you compare, getting an offer of PhD is a bit of challenge. But if you want to go for a master's, the fees ranges from $30,000 to $60,000 per annum. Getting an offer of master's is between 1 week to 4 weeks, depending on which university you're applying in. So when we say that applying master's is faster, the fees will be expensive, but at the same time, you get again you get 4.5 years. That is 1.5 year masters and 3 year post study work, right, to make your life easier. And then with PhD, you get three 3 years of approximately PhD and 3 years of post study work, right. The only difference which we see in PhD and masters is basically we're talking about masters 2 is a taught master's or a research master's. With the research master, you can work full time while you're studying, whereas in taught master, you only work 20 hours while you're studying. Whereas with PhD, you can work full time while you're studying. So again, this is a choice depending if you want to wait, if you want to see options. There are limitations with PhD. You have to work with the limitations of PhD in that area. But with masters, you can work in various areas. So I hope this answers the question.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you have a PhD, when you've graduated with a PhD, is to be honest, it's harder to get a job because your qualifications is to be too high for people, for employer to employ you. So look for a pathway that is easier for you to get a job because you need a skill employment or skill employment offer to apply for residence. So we have PhD students who end up having to do another degree in a diploma and graduate diploma in EC in order to secure a job in order to get a residence. So recently I helped a client, a student from Pakistan, and she actually did the same thing. She finished her PhD, but she couldn't get any job. So all she has to do is that she enroll another course to do a graduate diploma in ECE, and when the moment she finished, she received a job. So sometimes it's not about what you study, it's also about which pathway will give you an easiest option to apply for residence. Okay.
Okay, I'll go to the next question. This is from, again, please type your names. It'll be helpful for us. On PhD, does project course has more priority? Again, remember that all the courses, again, if I understand the question, the courses have their assessments and various areas, but post-study work visa is after you finish your course. So it does not affect if you're doing a co-op or internship or assessments while you're studying. That is a different from what you're doing. Again, unfortunately, is studying PhD in business a good pathway to apply for New Zealand permanent residency? Now, again, PhD is different to masters. If you're doing a business pathway, we will always recommend you to go for a master's. It might be a faster way if you are a good experienced person. Again, please share your CV at info@rbsintellect.com or hello@rbsintellect.com so that we can come back to you with your individual options. Now, as I'm repeating for everyone who has joined in recently, we don't charge for any consultation or any your individual assessment of the courses. And for student visa, we don't charge. So just giving you a heads up on that. There are always a small admin charges to cover the expenses. Going in from an uncertainty after master's MBA, if my job is not in a green list, what should be the minimum salary to be eligible for the apply for PR? So on, over to you.
Okay, currently the medium wage is 31.61 per hour. So you need to get a skilled work employment that is, you must be also suitably qualified. If you are suitably qualified and you're earning 31.61 and you are on the job for a year, so you get 1 point. With the master, 5 points, so you can apply for a residence.
Great. Shameen Habib, how about going as a skilled worker? I'm planning to work as a doctor. Currently, I have a specialized plan for further my study. Graduated MBBS from Malaysia University. So, Shameen, MBBS again, if you're coming to New Zealand, again, Son, you want to answer this question if you want?
Yeah. Okay. So if you've completed your MBBS, unfortunately, it's not recognized by New Zealand. So you may need to sit for another test. So this test has to be done in New Zealand, and it has a limited seats. So what happened is that most of these students who have we have foreign doctors who come here and want to practice doctor. What we advise them is do is that come here and do a master degree in public health, master in health science. While you're doing that, you can also prep for your NZIES. NZIES is the New Zealand text for for foreign doctors who want to practice. So in the meantime, you can complete your master degree, get your post-study work visa at the same time. Because you are in New Zealand, you are able to get a seat and do another test in order to qualify as a doctor in New Zealand. So this is what most many foreign doctors who wanted to practice here do. Okay. Come here to do a master in public health, which is related. Even if you don't end up being a registered doctor, when you finish as a public health, like recently we have a Myanmar student who was a doctor in Myanmar. He came in and did a master degree. After that, he actually worked in the hospital as a documentation specialist. And now he's eligible to apply for residence after 1 year. Okay.
Great.
Okay, what
Let's
is
go
the
into question.
definition of a term partner and what documentation required? A partner means that this person must be living with you as either as a husband and wife or de facto partner. Okay, the documentation required will be living together, evidence in the financial independence. Yep.
Great. We'll go down to Giridharan. I have a visitor visa valid on September 2025. Can I apply for student visa onshore or offshore? Is there any benefit of applying onshore? So again, I'm happy to answer. Yes, you can apply. There are always pros and cons for everything. Depend if you are in in New Zealand, we will like to see what are the background, what you have done, and what kind of visa you are in. So you
Yeah,
want to add to
basically,
this?
we do have students who are onshore and want to apply for a student visa. This is possible. This is okay. The only thing that you have to be careful is that you must have enough funds. You must show enough funds, and you must have provided a good reason why suddenly you decided to do a study in New Zealand. So though we prefer that you apply from offshore, but some people doesn't want to go back and then come back again. And in fact, we have been assisting many students who are onshore to apply for either English course or master course. It's possible. Email us your CV.
Hi there. Thank you for information. Again, I think uh, see again any application you have submitted for PhD, please send us the detail. We can talk on to one. Again, I'll not answer the detailed question where we have already got the application going on. It becomes a bit of challenging when the application is already started. We need to go through each and everything. Thank you. Ahmed, if someone is age 62, can he apply for any type of resident visa or any other visa for study? Now you can apply for study and other visas, but residence visas are not applicable after 55. Again, Son, over to you.
Yeah,
If it's
the only resident visa that is allowed for people who more than 55 years old are investor visa or entrepreneur work visa, which requires at least 1 million to 5 millions or up to 10 million. So if you have the money, tell us. We are doing a lot of investor visa as well.
great. And yes, it'll be again, the recording of webinars will be there on the website or on the YouTube channel. Please go ahead and into it. Anish, can level 7 graduate diploma in teaching give open work rights for spouse? Yes, graduate diploma in teaching for secondary, primary, or EC all give a post study work rights, just to make sure that it's limited to 1 to 2 years. Whereas if you do masters, you can get up to 3 years. Now, we want to just see the case at the same time to go to make sure that you are on time. So you want to add on that? No.
Yeah, basically, if you are doing we do have students from Cambodia doing the same thing, studying graduate diploma, and the spouse is here, and the spouse is actually on an open work visa.
Great. From pitch, pick so one is in NZ, is state selection important for a pathway? No, there is no state selection or there is no regional points for now. It is very different from other countries. So you get a visa for New Zealand, you get a residency pathway point for the courses. Currently, there is no details for the state selection.
Yeah, I think what you meant is a state nomination. There's no required state nomination in New Zealand. New Zealand has a lot easier. The moment you are eligible, they will process your visa. Unlike Australia, even if you meet the points, you have to go into the pool and wait. Next.
Great.
Okay, I have completed a master in counseling in Malaysia. I would like to work in New Zealand first and consider PhD later. What are the options? Well, you can work if you are able to find an employer to sponsor your work visa. Basically, you need to find an accredited employer to sponsor you. But again, if you come here to do a study, when you have a post-study work visa, employer, whether accredited or not, they're more willing to sponsor you because, they're more willing to employ you because they don't have to engage immigration again because you have the work right. You remember, the post-study work visa is an open work right that allow you to do any job. Okay, you do not need to let immigration know I'm going to do this job. Can I do that job? No, employer can employ you straight away because you have the right to work. All right. So that's why come here and study, preferably do a master degree because it gives you your employability, your chance of employability will be higher compared to if you were to do PhD.
Great.
Is
Is it easy to get a PR if does a bachelor program in engineering?
Yes, I think so. I think so. Yeah, bachelor, because engineering is on the green list if you completed your bachelor degree. And if you are getting the job, meeting the requirement in the green list, you can apply for residence immediately.
Yeah, see, it's again depend upon the course area in terms of specialization, what you're going in. So, see, one thing remember, if you have a job in New Zealand, there are options for you because an employer can help you with a 5-year like work visa pathway also. So, don't limit yourself to PR. I always said to all the students, decide a good course which you want to study. Make sure that you get a full-time job. If you have a job, there are opportunities for you. Now, sir, what about skill visa? So again, Manisha, skill visa, depend upon what you're looking. Please elaborate your question. We can help you on that. How much is the profile evaluation for RBS? Again, profile evaluation, there is no cost. Now, some of the offices are will be charging the admin fees. Now, these are depend upon if you're in Nepal or if you're in Philippines or if you're in um, Sri Lanka. There are some small fees, but not fees in every office for evaluation or giving offer letters or anything. Now, if you're specific thing, please, you're welcome to talk. But again, we recommend to again case by case. We don't need to the case so now. Is there a difference in living costs between major cities like Auckland, Wellington, and smaller cities in Dunedin and Hamilton? Now, in terms of visa, okay, what do you go, son?
Okay, in terms of living costs, I think, of course, definitely Auckland, Wellington will be more expensive compared to Dunedin or Hamilton. But in terms of the living cost, that the cost that you need to show the immigration, they are the same. Okay, so there's no difference. So long as you have 20,000 a year, you'll be eligible to apply for 1 year's student visa. If I do a master in management field, will I be eligible for a green list job? Can I go for PR pathway to management? Yes, you can do. Okay, don't limit yourself to green list. You can do any job. Okay, remember you need to be suitably qualified. When you are looking at SMC, looking at points, they don't have to be directly related to your master. But if you're doing master in management, you can. Management and business has more variety, open up to you more jobs, more variety of jobs, and not limiting to you in to a particular occupation. Okay.
Great. Guys, just to update you, I know we have Shiraaz on the call. She's been there from long since started only. Now, just to give you a brief about Shiraaz, Shiraaz manages the student visa team at RBS, and Shiraaz have more than 10 years experience as an ex-immigration officer with Immigration News in India office. Now, just giving heads up on that, she is answering a lot of questions while we are talking so that we can finish on time. Shiraaz, you want to add something or add any points here? You're welcome.
Fine, that's okay. I'm responding where I can.
Thank you. Just giving option, what is the scope of robotics or computer engineering in the coming years in New Zealand? Now, just to give you a heads up again, robotics or computer engineering, New Zealand is a very great tech hub. There are a lot of innovations are going on. Even not only robotics, even the space program, New Zealand company Rocket Lab is one of the top 5 companies in the world to launch low-cost satellites in the world. So just giving heads up, please go Google it, research it. There is a lot of option. New Zealand is incubation ground for a lot of companies, and there's a lot of testings of new products happen in New Zealand because of the terrain, the location, the number of people. You can get a lot of good answers here. What is the scope of employment of male early childhood master's graduate in NZ? Now, I'll give an example, guys. Male early childhood teachers are welcome. If you are a good teacher, there is a shortage, there is a requirement. And again, it's a female-dominated industry, but at the same time, male nurses, male teachers are welcome. Son, you want to add something?
Yeah, basically, any occupation that's listed on the green list are in high demand. But of course, it all depends on your background and your experience, or even the city that you want to look for a job. Sometimes it's easier to get a job outside main center. Okay, there's a lot of variables here, but essentially, if it's an easy job, easy qualifications, because it's still in demand, that's why it's listed in the green list. How much
Great.
does, okay,
Yeah. How much the health insurance and living expense cost per year for dependent case?
basically the health insurance is you're advised to actually get a health insurance. The living expenses we are projected between 15 to 20,000 per person. Okay, but of course, if you have a dependent and children living with you, accommodation is covered. So probably we're looking at between 5 to 10,000 a year for your spouse and children. But what you need to show to immigration will be much more. So we'll discuss on that. If you have any plan to come here, talk to us, and then we'll be able to explain to you.
So I'll tell everyone here that please, if you have a detailed query, you're welcome to email us. Son can type his email ID. Shiraz can type it even in the chat box. Please make sure that if you send an email to us, it will be helpful to us for answer. We have a generic ID. We have a team of 20 plus people supporting the queries only. Does any scholarship provide for master's degree in New Zealand for expat? Again, scholarships are there for various programs for everyone. It ranges between $5,000 to $30,000, depending upon which institution, which university you're applying in. Every student is allowed to work part-time and full-time, depend upon what course they are doing and which studies. In bachelor's, master's, which are taught bachelor's, taught master's, you can work part-time while you study and work full-time while you are on a holiday or a term break. Whereas the research master's or PhD, you can work full-time while you study also. Hi, does studying graduate diploma in professional accounting work as an internal and external auditor has a pathway to green list residency? Son, you want to answer?
Yeah, I'll answer this. If instead of coming here to do graduate diploma, I would suggest you come here to do either postgraduate diploma or master degree in professional accounting, because they give you a longer post-study work visa, which is 3 years. So yes, internal and external auditors are on the green list. In fact, we have done applicants who are internal auditor, and he was able to apply residence immediately, straight to residence, and is on the green list.
Again, just remember that a course will give you entry. So recommend, if you are looking into, look into the courses which can give you a long time to stay in New Zealand, which means 1.5 year masters, which can give you 3-year post-study option. If you are a postgraduate, if you're undergraduate, 3-year bachelors are recommended. Otherwise, you can go for a 2-year diplomas, which are recognized under the green list or qualifications. Now, remember that when you can come for any course in New Zealand, if there is no post-study, you can continue for the further qualification and get the post-study options. You only get post-study work rights once in your lifetime. You don't get it again in New Zealand. What about doing masters in dentistry? Again, Manisha, the course seats are limited, course options are limited. We have 2 universities offering that. It is kind of a pretty expensive course. It's not a cheaper course, so you need to make sure that are you ready? Please share your CV. We can tell you the course fees listed between $60,000 to $70,000 per year, and there are limited seats. But you can go for other health qualification if you are a dentist in your home country. Ranjita from does agriculture course fall into green list? There are options in green list, but again, if you're doing masters, you can still get post-study work options, and you can apply for your jobs depend upon what kind of agriculture course you're doing. There are multiple options in this also. Sandeep Yadav, can we get working visa for mechanical engineers? Yes, if you have studying here, we are talking about study visa here. If you have a job in New Zealand, you can apply for your work visas, and that can give you up to 5 years work rights. Anish Pradhan, which is better, grad dip ECE or a Masters of Teaching ECE? Again, Anish, we always recommend if you're a married couple, go for a Masters. If you're unmarried, go for a graduate diploma, depend upon the costings here. So, how high is the chance to get a job after completion of master's degree in applied management? So we're not, there are job websites, seek.co.nz. Just to give you a heads up, if you have a good qualification, good speaking skills, you are confident, there are jobs available. You always go for a job with a mindset, there will be other people applying too. So again, we need to make sure that you are there. Now, my background is applied management, so I can say there are options in jobs and studies. Son, you want to add into this?
Yeah, I think if you have a master degree, remember you have 3 years post-study work visa. So you can work in any job. You may start with a lower pay or at a lower level. It's okay. Start with that first. Once you gain the New Zealand experience and the employer like you, and you'll be able to move up to a higher skill level or higher payroll, which you only need 1 year of skill employment. And besides doing a student visa, we also provide job, career, and job coaching. Come and talk to us after you finish your study.
Okay, and again, for we are not talking about any direct job offers today, guys. Just to give you a heads up. So if you have a 10-year experience, you're welcome to study still, but make sure that age is there. But we are not talking about any work or jobs here. If you have a job offer letter, we can help you in what's the pathway look like. Shivani, hi, please suggest more greenlist master courses or courses in science that can help me to get residency. Shivani, we need to go for a CV. So for everyone, if you want your individual assessment, please share your CV and academic documents on hello@rbsintellect.com. We will work with our team to provide you which other options are there for you, and they can connect you whichever country you are. Hi, Ravnish, can you elaborate on transport to residence? That category or pathway has been closed. For now, there are no further options in that. So, Ravnish, again, you might have to change the options. Is that correct?
Yep.
Is PT valid for masters in research? Yes, PT is valid. All the IELTS, PT, TOEFL, TOEIC, various course options, it should be academic, not a generic options or not a general things. Again, depend upon which university you're applying. Remember that, Bhupendra. I had already done master's degree from Nepal, currently working in banking sector. How many years gap acceptable while applying master? So Shiraaz, you want to answer the question about the gap? How the gap is understood and what it happens?
Yeah, sure. So about a year gap is fine. Even if it's slightly more, it's okay. As long as you've been able to justify and explain the gap in your profile, it should be good. If you have any documentary evidence of any other courses that you've undertaken, or maybe you've traveled to something and you wanted to take time off for travel, it's all acceptable up to say 1.5 year, as long as you're able to explain and justify that.
Now, remember that study and work, if you're doing that, is not a gap. Gap means that you're not doing anything, you're idle, you're traveling. Simple as that. So if you're working full time at some place, that is not a gap. We call it an experience what you're going in. Shiraaz, is that correct?
Yeah.
Great. Son, you want to add something or should we continue?
Yep, continue.
We're going on, can partner get open work visa if spouse is studying level 7 course and children can study for free? Ranjita?
You can only get a partner work visa if you are doing a level 7, which is on the green list. If you're not, then you better do level 8 or level 9.
Technically level 9 if you're going for a spouse and kids, but level 7 only within the green list area. But again, please share your profile, Ranjita, we can help you on that. Anojan, do we need to do postgraduate direct mode in NZ, or we can do it online and get job there? No, for a post-study work right or jobs, we recommend to go for a full-time study in New Zealand. If you're doing online studies that are not counted towards your residence, not residence, or you're talking about post-study work right, you need 30 weeks face-to-face study minimum in New Zealand to be considered at a master's level for a post-study work options. But again, we are happy to elaborate on that. Thank you for informative presentation. I'm interested in master degree. Again, if you're doing accounting and finance, please send the details. We can give you which courses are better and what to do it. It is not hard to get the median wage. Just to give you a heads up, guys, the minimum salary or wages in New Zealand is $23.70. if you talk about median wages, is 31.6 or roughly $32. You're talking about $53,000 to $55,000 per annum package as a median wage, which is 30 hours full time. Now, that is a very average salary what people get in New Zealand when you apply for a work in New Zealand. Kishore, I have master's in commerce in Nepal, having 20 years experience in manufacturing companies. Kishore, please send your details. We can't elaborate. Your age will matter a lot to decide which course and what study option. Rajan, is it easy to get job if we did post-graduate diploma in online mode from our own country? Again, depend on what course you're doing in New Zealand matters more for the job getting in New Zealand. Grateful for insightful session. Sorry. There are scholarships for all the programs, guys. Except PhD, you can get us PhD grants, but the fees is already low. Kishore, again, I can't answer the question. SM Jam Jawad. I'm Anush. I have two questions. I've done master's business and finance from Adelaide University. My temporary residence in 3 years. I won't be able to make PR. Again, if you have not able to get Australian residence option, we have been getting a lot of cases. There are certain solutions for all those people. Please email us because your course is very long. We need to go into individual details. Sean, you want to add for the students who are in Australia?
Yeah, actually, the best thing is that you can actually come here and study again. Either, for example, if you're doing a business finance from Adelaide, so what are other options? If you have some work experience, you may consider doing an MBA, which is something different from a Master of Business Finance. So with the MBA and plus your experience in Australia, I'm sure that it will be quite easy for you to get a job when you finish. You only need 1 year skill employment in New Zealand to apply for a residence.
Okay, Meng Suking, no, I believe you're from Malaysia. I'm a chartered accountant CP. Sorry, Cambodia. I'm chartered accountant CP Australia. That would be equivalent to CANZ. What is the option to get NZ residency or permanent visa? So, do you want to add in there?
Okay, basically, all you need to do is come here and look for a job. If you are able to find a skill job here, then you can apply for a residence. Come and talk to us. Send us your CV.
Yeah. Asadullah Mohammed, I've been investigating in master education whether he has work in relevant field residency while which is areas. Again, see, Mohammed, if you are in New Zealand, we can talk about these details. If you're in Bangladesh, there are a lot of options now. Just to give you heads up for everyone, when your spouse is studying, he gets a work visa for 3 years, post-study work right for 3 years. The spouse gets up to 4 years of work options. Now you have to find a job in any area. Just remember that. So don't mix and match for your residence pathway to a student residence pathway. So it will be great if you can have details. So again, always the case of spouse and the students are different. Don't mix. We are happy to do counseling sessions with you to discuss in detail. Chatureni, how much is the cost to do master's degree in New Zealand? It ranges from $30,000 to $60,000. $30,000 is the minimum 1 year master's qualification being offered in New Zealand. That is roughly, depending on which country you are, you can multiply. It is $30,000, $15,000 US dollars, just to give you a heads up. Rosal Fish, how much loan coverage is required? Is the education loan also required to cover cost of living and insurance? Rosal, again, you can take loan for everything, or you can take multiple different ways of qualification. If you are from Nepal, please visit our Nepal office in Kathmandu. There are multiple options they can guide you on this. Bibul Amantia, can I get to know green list courses for management course? Green management courses are not in the green list, but there are project management and other options. Please share your CV. We can recommend you which options are there. SM Javed, my second question is my brother who is a primary teacher in India. What are the possible ways for him to come to New Zealand, study and get visa, his and family over the 2 children? Now, Javed, if you're in New Zealand, we are happy to help you and discuss the case in person in Auckland office or other offices. But if your brother is in India, please ask him to email us. We can call and discuss complete options for him. Again, you can email Shiraaz or you can email hello@rbs. we can guide you on that. Again, we don't want to go to personal cases, guys, just to update you. It needs to have a strong privacy law to talk about any personal cases. Again, can you give us like examples of popular green list jobs? There is nursing, engineering. You talk about accounting audit. You talk about early child, secondary teaching, early childhood. There are 160 plus occupations, guys. So we can send you the link. I have 8 years of continuous work experience. I've left last year's job in January. Will I be able to sponsor my masters by myself? Son, I believe personal sponsorship is allowed.
Yes.
Shiraz, you can add
Yes.
to that.
Yes, definitely. I think if you have sufficient fund, it doesn't matter whether you're still holding a job now, though if you can provide a good reason why you're not holding a job after you left your job, I think it could be easily done. So long as you have sufficient fund for your tuitions and your living costs.
So does this, again, question going into from Matesh, does this have an open work visa for spouse? Again, if you're coming to masters, you get the spouse options also. Just to give you a heads up. What is the email do we send in order to start communicating for RVS? Remember that resident visa depends on which other visas you're following up, but you can email Son, he can guide you with options what are there, or you can give it hello options. We have to go for your code case as a background to
IDs
detail
are mentioned.
out. Yeah,
But
great. Thank you. If again, can you resend again? It might be helpful. If someone completes 1 year graduate diploma and again done it, how many is the post-study work permit? We talked about it. What if done American degree transfer program and want to do New Zealand? Is it possible? I'm an international student in Malaysia. So again, Son, we have Malaysian student.
Yeah. Currently, we are doing one. Depends on the program that you're doing. American program depends on which school. If you are doing it in Inti University, it's possible. Yes, because we are doing one. Currently, one transfer program from Inti University who are doing American programs to New Zealand, Waikato or Macy. But it would take a bit of time because New Zealand universities are not familiar with the syllabus in Malaysia.
And Kishore, they will be recording on the YouTube and our website. Please follow that. It'll be easier. Sami completed my master's degree in microbiology in 2019 and currently working in pharmaceutical company for last 7 years. Can I apply for a master's degree again since I'm 36-year-old? Yes, you can apply. Please go ahead with the University of Waikato. They've got a new master's in applied pharmacy practice. That'll be a good qualification, exactly good case, eligible for February 2026 intake. Please go for it. I'm an LLM from NUS. Can I proceed with PhD? Razia, you can go for a master's in legal studies. Depend if you've done a research or if your faculty is applying for, can be eligible for a PhD, why not? But for PhD, you can go to university's research links and see which professors are running the research in your area. Daniel Ismail, I'm interested in masters related to aviation, airport, airline courses. Again, Daniel, there are courses in Messi University, masters in aviation management. They are not in the green list, but there are job options available. There are options for CPL, which is the pilot options, which you can get a jobs in various countries, depending what area you're looking in. Wajid Mahmood, whether IELTS is required for PhD admission in all courses, and if previous study English also have an expired IELTS result. Again, Wajid, please send your details. Every case is different. Depend which university you're applying and what you've done. But IELTS is required if your professor or research supervisor needs the IELTS, which is cheaper and easier. Looking for a job offer in NZ using Malaysian bachelor or going to master's in NZ. So, you want to add on that?
I think basically it's not about which one is cheaper, which one will be easier. Because I think definitely if you come here to do a master's degree, it's easier for you to look for a job. With just a bachelor from Malaysia and you will want to find a job here, it's not that easy, especially you're not personally in New Zealand and you don't have a work visa to have the work right. Remember, once you finish a master degree, you'll be eligible for a post-study work visa, means that you have the right to work. You don't have to apply to immigration again. Your employer can employ you straight away without having to go back to immigration and seek permission. So definitely it's easier for you to come here to get a master's degree than look for a job.
Okay, now just giving a heads up to everyone. We just want to make sure that when an employer hires anyone in New Zealand, uh, they have to do a labor market check if they are hiring any migrant. So, which means that if you are hiring a migrant, they do a labor market check, and if they can't find a suitable, then only they go and hire from overseas. So, getting a job directly from overseas, you always have to be very careful on that side. It is not straightforward. Is there any way to apply job vacancy directly from outside New Zealand? Or can we? We don't help in the direct job vacancy because we already have limited quota for our options for that. Or if Bachelor in International Business from Malaysia, Masters in International Relations from Chinese Studies, PG Diploma in International from China, currently doing PhD in University of Malaysia, full-time based in China, age 50, married, 2 kids. What's the plan for PR pathway, son?
Okay, basically, Arif, what you can do is you send us your CV, send your spouse CV, your partner's or your wife's CV to us. Then we can evaluate and tell you which is the better option for you.
Because it's a bit more details needed because you've done multiple masters and PhD and your age is 50. Because that's we're going to see that when you finish your PhD, you'll be already 53 or 54. The time is very different. So just give you RF. I know people who are raising hands. We can't allow you to talk. It is a webinar. Yes, you'll be getting a recording of webinar within a day or two maximum. It will be on the website also of RBS. I'm planning for move to skilled visa. I have already completed my bachelor from Indian and from Chinese industry. Can I have eligible for moving PR pathway? Manish, have direct moving PR pathway. We have to go through your case. There are no direct options. Your qualification is recognized by New Zealand Dentistry Council. So make sure that you have to get your New Zealand dental license before you move to a New Zealand on a PR pathway. So again, a lot to talk about it. Pratish Pratap, does doing diploma in construction level 6 allow you to get a job in green list? The diploma in construction gives you 2-year post-study work options. It is in a green list, but again, do remember the jobs are to be good looked into it. So there are options in that, but depend what kind of jobs you're doing. Son, you want to add on this?
Sorry, I missed that.
It's a level 6 construction diploma in New Zealand.
Yeah. Definitely, if you are doing a level 6, because I think if there's certain jobs that's construction job, especially in project management, is actually on the green list. So you need to meet the green list requirement. Okay.
Okay, so if I have worked 12 months in a skilled job, 30 hour plus week, but my employer accreditation lapses in few months and I later renewed, can I still claim 1 point? Again, whoever it is, if you're in New Zealand, please welcome to meet us because we need to understand the full complication of the case. Employer is required to mandatory when they're applying for your residence support, they have to be a great employer. So, is that correct? If I'm not wrong?
Yes, yeah. Basically, just send us email or drop by our office and call our office. Then we can help you.
Yeah, because this is a different case here. What is the visa rate? Depending on which visa you're talking about. Alright, if student visa rate, depend upon country, depend upon the areas, and depend on your background. I'm a forensic pathologist working now, and I've already completed MD from Indian and PhD from Australia. What is my chances? Vasudeva, please email your CV and details. If you are in Australia, it will be great to discuss on that. If you are in India, we just need to see what options you can have. Pupendra, about Masters in Management by thesis. Again, this is a Masters by, I believe you're talking about ICL courses, or you're talking about, again, it's a level 9 qualification. You can work full time. Again, courses could depend what you're doing and what is your previous background. The course is not bad, just simple as that. I want to study Masters in Management by thesis, specialize in hospitality management. Can you help me with the scholarship? As I have MBA from France, please send your CV, Rodrigo, if I'm not wrong. We can discuss further on that. I'm a Kumar Raja. I'm pre-university course in on continuing with your bachelor degree does help you in a residence pathway. We have a pre-university master's option. Again, Kumara, we need to see the details. Again, there is no quick in residence pathway. It is depend what's your final course, what your final study options. We need to see all the areas there.
Yeah, I think Kumar, you just email us your CV so that we can help you to identify what are the options for you.
Can we apply work visa instead of student visa? No, we don't offer work visa. Simple as that. Polomi Mukherjee, I want to do a MSc in marketing from New Zealand. I want to then apply for jobs. Is that possible? Yes, you can do that. Polomi, please share the CV. There are multiple options. We call it a masters in management or masters in marketing, or there is MBA in marketing. There are multiple course options. And New
In
Zealand
fact,
does,
yeah, Pulami, in fact, this is the most popular pathway people do. Come here and do a master degree and then look for a job. Because remember, after your master, you have 3 years to look for a job, and you only need 1 year of skill employment. So it's a lot easier when you have an open work visa.
great. Coin Fruits, I'm a graduate from South Kenya University for masters. I'm a Kenyan. I want to migrate to New Zealand with my wife and young kid, which is the best way to go to New Zealand. Again, please share your details. We have done few visas. There are few students from Nepal, India, or other countries are moving from Korea too. We have a Korea team members also who can help you. So if you're in Korea, please send the details. Yes, you can go in. We can do a counseling and update you what are the options and how to follow in. Jacinta, which is a background neurosurgeon, more than 10 years looking for transition academics. Please, again, thank you, Jacinta. We'll come back to you, what options we can have and what are the areas you can go in. Vasudeva, my age limit of PR, my qualification not in green list. Age limit of PR is 55. If you
Yeah,
qualify not,
whether you're on the green list or you're not on the green list, the skilled migrant category age limit is 55.
okay, what's the job recommendation of, job search websites and for or recruitment agencies? Again, Shiraaz, you can put down seek.co.nz or trademe.co.nz. These are few job sites you can go in. There are hundreds of job recruitment companies in New Zealand. So please, when you're here, you will get to know. When you're doing study, you get do all those things. But at the same time, when you are applying with RBS do have some job support services. Now, starter package is free for all the students who are applying with RBS directly. We will cover your basic details. We do fortnightly career sessions with our career coaches, which are working in industry for 30 to 40 years now. After getting PR, bringing spouse children, if they want to study, they can get a free education. Yes, if you're a resident, your education is free. If you're coming on a master's pathway, age between 5 to 18 for kids is a free education or subsidized education, which is a couple of $100 a year. So when please share your details. Health insurance is variable depend upon which provider you are following with. Just to give you a heads up. Sanjit Pervez, if I've done 1 year MBA, is there an impact on a PR or a 3 year work permit? You get a post study right after MBA. Simple as that. Is OET for English accepted? Yes, OET is accepted. Depend upon you have done and your course which you're doing, they are accepting it. But yes, it is accepted and it's a valid. Toby, in terms of cost, which one is cheaper, PhD or masters? We have answered this question already. Ratish Pratap, hi, will these individual consultations have any cost? Ratish, we will talk individual consultation for 15 to 30 minutes or 1 hour. There are no costs depend upon who you are dealing with. If you're dealing with the licensed advisors, it's 15 to 30 minutes. If you're dealing with a student career counselor with RBS, it can go up to 1 hour also. We don't charge for it. Can we study masters in theology? Yes, why not? You're welcome if the course is offered and you want to do. Brian, I hold BSc Civil Engineering from University of Nairobi, Kenya. I have 4 years work experience. What would be the best pathway for me? I'll go for a Master's of Engineering with Civil. It's a very good course in University of Canterbury. There are good in demand and it's in the green list too. Again, Pulomi, yes, both the courses are good. There are jobs. Please follow the job sites. We are putting it on. Again, Shiraaz, can you put it to everyone? It's the host and panelists. You need to put it to everyone, please. Pulomi, we have a team member based out of Calcutta. We can talk about it if you are from Calcutta. Why not? I have 2 MBAs at the moment. Can I do third? Yeah, see, New Zealand allows you to do a third, fourth, or fifth masters or PhD. No problem on that. Till then, you can provide the details where you are and how you're doing, and why you're choosing that qualification. Sorry, just giving a course. I think, Son, you want to take this course? We have done 2 MBAs already. That is a post study.
Yeah, basically just email us your CV and
I
your
think
academic results so that we can evaluate and give you the best option, because we limited detail, we can't.
because the time, yeah, I agree. So, and the last is, I'm thinking the last question here, accommodation at NMIT. We can guide you where the accommodations are. Again, if you have applied the visa through us, we'll be helpful for that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate. I think the PhD in New Zealand is 3 to 6 year. Last question was there, but appreciate everyone for joining in today. We will be doing more webinars on a fortnightly basis, so please keep an eye on it. Thank you again for everyone joining today.